Over the course of one of the great rivalries in all of sports, two women have proven that they have their own elite space at the top of the heap. Women's Championship 9-ball hasn't been the same since Allison Fisher and Karen Corr decided to come to America. And now they find themselves once again in the middle of a classic battle for the #1 ranking in the world. Allison Fisher, the current #1, who with a win widens a narrow margin. Karen Corr, the hungry #2, who with a win will take over the most coveted position in the sport. Join us for another epic chapter in sport's longest-running confrontation. It's Champions Time at the Brunswick Billiards Midwest Classic. It's the finals of the Brunswick Billiards Midwest Classic, presented by the American Pool Players Association. Loud enough in here. We're at the Paradise Hotel Casino in East Peoria, Illinois. Welcome, everybody, inside with a bunch of rabid pool fans here to see the best players in the world. Mitch Lawrence, along with the #2 ranked Irish invader Karen Corr. And Karen, I know you haven't thought about this at all, but were you to win this match against your opponent over there, you will regain the #1 ranking in the world. How does that make you feel?
What do you reckon of that then?
Oh, really?
It's quite exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, and you look terribly excited.
Oh, I tell you, I got the whole of Ireland behind me, and me mammy's wishing me good luck. So I tell you, I'll be all right there.
All right, we're going to have a word with the #1 ranked Allison Fisher. She's over there with the striking Viking, Ava Mattia Lawrence.
Thanks, Mitch. Well, the Duchess, I know, was ready for this fight, and if Karen wants #1, she's not going to take it easily from Allie.
Well, you know, I never knew that till you said that, thanks. Put a bit of pressure on us. But, you know, Karen and me, I think it's going to go back and forth for a few years yet. There's a lot of fight in us. She's a great competitor. So we're ready to duke it out for that beautiful trophy over there.
Both players with a lot of healthy respect. And here is how they both got here. Look at our road to the finals. Monica Webb and Kim Shaw in the first semifinal. Monica getting through, and then Karen Corr overcoming Monica Webb in the second semifinal. Allison Fisher waiting undefeated in the finals. And here we are, #1 and #2 in the world again. And when it comes down to it, 64 players start the week, every week of the WPBA Classic Tour. And somehow, so many times, these two just prove that they are the dominant forces in the world of women's 9-ball. And until someone comes and takes it away from them, that's how it's going to be. There's Karen Corr, seated for the moment as Allison Fisher won the lag and the right to break first. And if this goes to 13 racks, that lag will prove to be a big one. We'll see if it goes that far. I'm expecting nothing less, Ava, than these two players going after each other for the title.
Oh, it's just, it can't get any better than this. We've seen these two play so many times, but rarely do we have the opportunity to see them play each other when #1 is immediately at stake. So this is pretty exciting stuff. Right off the bat here, really strong break. Allison's break, as you can see over the years, has really improved. Old Allison would have played a safety behind the 7 here. The Allison of late will bank this ball and come down for the 2. It's just neat to see how they've changed over the years, because she would have never gone for that bank even 2 years ago.
And both of them. We'll talk about Karen's aggressive style of late also, I'm sure. But as you said, Allison making a little bit of an opening statement with that shot, I think.
Allison likes that #1 position. She will not let it go easily. There's no question about that. Should be a great match, as all their matches between them, but in particular this one. And Allison was really joking a lot and having some fun while she was warming up with the crowd, so she's trying to really stay loose without losing the focus, but she does not want to get too tight and too scared of losing #1. As you can see here, she starts out perfect cue ball control, and she comes out like a rocket right off the bat.
And it's what you want. Stay at the table, get used to the conditions of the table, and make your opponent know that they are going to be in for it right from the beginning. Not that Karen doesn't know that. This is a race to 7 games for the title. 30 seconds for each player on a shot clock with 1 extension per rack, and it will be cue ball fouls only. And there you see 4 balls left on this opening rack table for Allison Fisher, originally from Cheshunt in England, now living in Waxhaw, North Carolina, outside of Charlotte. Calls it home and loves it in that part of the country. You see a little angle on the 7. We're going to quickly give you this playing equipment, the official sponsors of the WPBA Classic Tour, and the best equipment in the world it is. As Allison walks around and takes a look. The Brunswick Billiards, a beautiful Gibson table. Centennial balls also by Brunswick, and the Big Break rack by Brunswick, and Simonis 860 cloth. And we thank them for their sponsorship, as we always do. Without them, you wouldn't be watching Allison and Karen. And so far in rack number 1, Ava, this has been a clinic on 9-ball immediately by Allison Fisher.
Well, she could almost have had ball in hand and couldn't have run this rack any better than she has, just really staying in line. Hit that a little bit in the thick part of the pocket, hit a little too much of the 8-ball. That's why she came up a little short here, but she's still okay. Should not be a problem for Allison making this 9-ball and taking the first game.
Dead center. And the 7-time Player of the Year says to Karen, if you want my #1 ranking, you better come and get it. Karen Corr with the break. The Brunswick Billiards Midwest Classic is brought to you by Ozone Billiards, your online source for billiard supplies. By the American Pool Players Association, the world's largest pool league. And by Brunswick Billiards, since 1845, the standard of superior craftsmanship preferred by experts around the world. Another look at that Gibson table by Brunswick. Karen Corr, looking at that rack of 9 balls, the diamond shape. Very familiar to Karen and Allison now, both coming from snooker backgrounds in England. Well documented, 15 world titles between the two of them over there. Allison comes over, establishes herself as a dominant force. Karen follows and says, okay, I'm here also. And she was the 2001 Player of the Year, winning all 6 Classic Tour titles. Allison came back in 2002 and 2003, Player of the Year and #1 ranking.
And that was a great break by Karen. She hit the balls really solid, the cue ball. She kept control of it, and nothing fell.
Not only that, but look at this opening shot on the 1.
2-ball is right by the 9-ball, but it is wide open, so she can make the 1 here, get down for the 2. The 3 ball's over on the rail. And there are no major problems here, unless she just came up a little bit short. She's looking at her tip as if she miscued a hair, because I'm not sure she's got a shot at this 2-ball. And if she did, it was very close to getting her in trouble right here. If she can make this, she'll hit this with some right spin to come up for the 3-ball between the 9 and the 3.
Does she clear the 9? Yes.
She went up on the other side, and now she just has to go across and back again, no problem.
Allison with a really good run through this field of 64. I mentioned earlier that it's one of the strongest parts of the WPBA Classic Tour is the strength of a 64-woman field from all over the world that come to compete on every event. Watch out. This gets it to go and needs to bump that 4 a little bit, Ava.
Yeah, I think she hit that with a little unwanted spin there. All she needed to do was go across and back again and come out on the other side of the 4. She got a little fortunate there that she got enough of a bump to even have a shot at the 4-ball. But she indeed has a shot. But you know what? Anytime the balls are that close together, it's really tough to tell the angle where to cut it. That's why she got back off it and back down again. Slid on in there a little bit, flirted with that pocket.
And the commitment to the end of that stroke is what always impresses me, because you're looking totally away from the pocket that you want the object ball to go in.
And the trust that you have to put in that you hit the right spot. And Allison's going to take her time here. Somebody's cell phone just went off. She just backed off that shot just for a second and gave somebody the look.
I'll tell you, there's a lot of pool fans in this room. It's not the time to have a cell phone go off.
No.
They will be upset. Some of the greatest fans in the world in the Chicagoland area. We're about 3 hours drive in East Peoria. It's a really beautiful part of the Midwest. I was saying before about Allison's run through this field. a few really strong matches against tough competition and 2 very tough matches. One against Laura Smith, where Allison was down 1-5 to Laura Smith, and then 7-8, and won the last 2 racks to win that match 9-8, and then defeated Karen 9-8 in the winner's bracket final of this double elimination format. Now Karen has a shot to get a little bit of revenge, but so far, Allison just not giving her a chance. All Karen's done so far, Ava, is to make nothing on the break. She's about to find herself down by 2 racks.
That's true. I mean, she has now made a mistake, and not only she didn't make a ball on the break, but it wasn't her fault. She hit a really, really good break shot. So, you know, this is what's tough about playing either one of these players, is that when they're on, they rarely make a mistake. And Allison is the best, and Karen has for quite a while now been the second best at punishing you for making mistakes or coming up short when it's your turn at the table, when it's your break.
And once again, solid stroke on the 9 for Allison Fisher, the Duchess of Doom, up by 2 racks and with the break here in East Peoria. As we do every year, we have had a fabulous week here at the Paradise Hotel Casino, who bills itself as the friendliest casino in the Midwest. We see no reason to argue. Inside the beautiful Paradise Hotel Casino, East Peoria, Illinois, is the setting. They call it the Illinois River Country, and it's beautiful here. Allison Fisher loving it at the moment. Up 3-0 over Karen Corr in the finals of the Brunswick Billiards Midwest Classic. We're in rack number 4. Rack number 3, Karen Corr actually got to the table 3 times, but didn't have anything really to work with. And Allison Fisher took advantage and got her 3rd rack on the board. And now it is crunch time for Karen Corr. Ava, because down 3-0 to Allison in an alternating break format, you better start putting some racks on the board, or it's going to be very, very tough to take over the #1 ranking.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm a little surprised here that Karen is not changing sides where she's breaking from. But this time it worked out better. She at least made a couple of balls on the break and has an open shot at the 1 ball. Is it what you want it to be? But not really, because not only does she have a tough cut if she goes offensively, but look where the 2 ball is down here by the 9. She needs to get, this is the only place she can get for position to be able to make the 2, unless she nestles in this area right here. So tall order for Karen here. She was hoping for something a little bit easier than this, but we'll see what she can do with it. Okay, Karen says, I don't like it, and she played a safety, but you know what? It was a good safety. It wasn't a great safe because it looks like Allison can hit this 1 ball. And Karen had an opportunity to really make it dark here for Allison, but I think she gave her enough of a window where Allison can make something happen.
So still, amazingly, rack number 4, Karen Corr made her first balls of the match on the break, the 3 and the 5. And look at which way Allison's going with this, Ava.
Well, I thought she could hit enough of it to do something,
nope.
But she had to kick. And look at this. That turned out just splendidly for Karen. The 2-9 looked like it lined straight up into the pocket, and if it did, Karen is in good shape here to get on the board, Mitch.
And she is rolling that cue ball around on the table. She'll come over and take a look at this, no question about it. And for her, what a great antidote to this first 3 rack run by Allison Fisher. If she can get a quick rack here, that would certainly make her feel a lot better at the moment. She's still down 1-3 to the #1 player in the world. It's not the perfect situation, and I guess she did not.
She didn't like it. She looked over at the table. As you can see, there are no balls tied up anywhere. Why take a chance? The 2-9 is not straight in. It's aiming for about this part of the rail right here. So she decided not to flirt with it. And besides, most of the players that grew up on snooker are not big fans of combinations. It's a shot that's rarely used in snooker, and they just usually, as a rule, avoid combinations at all costs.
Karen trying desperately at this moment to avoid one of the not so pleasant memories, and there have been very few of these in Karen Corr's illustrious career. But 2 years ago, here at the Midwest Classic, Allison Fisher administered a 7-0 whooping. That's the only way you can put it, over Karen Corr. Karen did return a favor of sorts at the BCA Open 9-ball.
I cannot believe she did that.
And she can't either.
She had an angle on that, and she was trying to spin it and hold the cue ball, and she could have just as easily gone with the cue ball down into the end rail and back up again, but she didn't even go over and look at the angle she wanted on the 7. Now that definitely goes under in the category of unforced errors right there. See if she can get a safety out of it. Look at this, look where the cue ball ends up right there.
And under the circumstances, she may not be real happy, but that is a very clutch shot by Karen Corr. After a disheartening little bit of position play on the 7.
Well, when you make a mistake like that, what you need is for your opponent to either make a mistake back or for you to get fortunate like she did here, so you get a chance to fix it quickly before it has time to grow in your mind and get you in a negative state from then on out. So we'll see here if Allison can, she might make this. Look at this, look at this, she made it. Oh my goodness. Wow. She is one tough cookie, I tell you what.
You know, you think you've seen it all with both these players. We can't let Karen out of this either, but right now, Allison Fisher is saying, Karen, you're a little too close here, point-wise. And this whole idea of taking over the number one ranking at the moment is bothering me. So I'm going to show you something. Wow. And here's a point I wanted to make, Ava. Karen has had a couple of very tough matches where she was not happy with her mechanics and ball striking. And Allison, even though she had a couple close matches this week, has looked very, very strong. So right now, the momentum all with the Duchess of Doom here in the finals, and she has the break up by 4 racks. Closed captioning provided by Ozone Billiards, your online source for billiard supplies. It's the finals of the Brunswick Billiards Midwest Classic presented by the American Pool Players Association. Good look at that Brunswick Billiards Gibson table. We always like to thank our sponsors when we get a chance. Without them, the best players in the world would not be available for your viewing pleasure. And right now, Allison Fisher is really laying claim to being the #1 player in the world. There is no doubt about it. Ava, I have to say that right now the two players look a little bit apart. Karen not playing, she hasn't had a chance really, but not able to really get anything going, and Allison Fisher just keeping the pressure on.
Well, right now I think that there are two differences between these two players. One is what we just saw. Allison's break is really working. She's hitting the ball solid and hard. and getting a shot after the break. Here you can see one ball in here. The 3 is wide open. Nothing is really tied up. Karen is struggling more with the break. And the other reason is, you know, I flew in into Chicago with Allison. We had some long discussions, and she said the fact is that she is a very even-tempered person. She attributes a lot of her success on the tour to the fact that she is even-tempered. She doesn't let, you know, just stuff in life, not just in pool, but she doesn't get very rattled. And Karen is struggling with that right now for whatever reason. She's not really believing in her game and everything else the way she has been, although it's still as good as it ever was. I mean, she's almost taken over #1 here. But so much has to do with faith in yourself.
And I was going to say, the mental aspect of the game for both of these players, because their fundamentals and their mechanics have been so spectacular over the years, a lot of it's going to come down to where you are mentally.
Exactly.
Period.
Absolutely, no question.
So right now, given that Allison has been making shots and doing some fabulous things at the table, and Karen, when she gets there, has done nothing but hard work and having a little trouble with confidence. That's just kind of what it looks like, but you cannot take anything away from Allison in this match.
Absolutely not.
The last matchup of these two, other than this event where Allison beat Karen 9-8 in a very tough match in the winner's bracket final of double elimination. But earlier, Allison winning the first 2 WPBA Classic Tour titles of the season in Tunica, Mississippi and San Diego. And then Karen coming back and winning for the 3rd consecutive year.
That's incredible.
The BCA Open 9-ball championship. So they do go back and forth. It's not like there's been total domination of one over the other. And I dare say that no matter what happens in this final matchup, the same is going to hold true. Karen will be there. But boy, right now, Allison is just looking unbeatable right now, to me.
She's playing as well right now as I've ever seen her play. I mean, she's had some great matches, obviously, in the past, both on television and off. But right now, she looks as confident as I've ever seen her. She doesn't get decent position. It is pinpoint perfect position right now on almost every single shot, except, of course, that one, because I said that. She came about
For those of you who
short on
aren't
that one.
commentators, I can't tell you how much that happens in this job. Well, let's see. We're laughing a little, but Karen very interested in this rack all of a sudden. And you know what? Somehow, amazingly, I expected her to make that tough shot. Allison Fisher with a clinic in East Peoria, up by 5 racks. And now it's time to take a look at some of our other top finishers, brought to you by the American Pool Players Association. Our first page sees the names of Sarah Ellaby, Julie Kelly, and Jeanette Lee. But how about this finish for Melissa Herndon, a native of Thibodaux, Louisiana, ties her highest finish on tour. Our second page sees a great tournament for Tiffany Nelson of East Rutherford, New Jersey, one of the most exciting up-and-coming stars on the WPBA Classic Tour.
I always love this event in Peoria. My parents always come, my sister, my brother, and it's just nice having them here watching me play and rooting me on.
Welcome back to the Paradise Hotel Casino in East Peoria. Part of the fantastic Boyd Gaming organization. We have 2 stops on the WPBA Classic Tour. Thanks to Boyd Gaming, Sam's Town in Tunica, Mississippi for the Delta Classic, won by Allison Fisher earlier this year. And of course here at the Paradise Hotel Casino. And if Allison wins 2 more racks, she will repeat this title for the 3rd consecutive year.
Boy, is this what Karen needed right now. She made 3 balls on the break. Look at this break. She hit the balls really solid. Again, with a little too much height. She lost the cue ball again, but fortunately for Karen, the 1 ball goes in the side pocket. And look at this cue ball and the 2.
Wow.
Right in line, and she is off to the races here. She needed this really badly. What was that? Oh my goodness, look out. I thought she was flirting with the 9 ball there. I'm surprised. She could have stayed down there and shot the 4 ball. She could have ended up somewhere in this position, but instead she decided to come out. Didn't want to flirt with having too much angle. Nice reverse there. She had a lot of left on that and went across the natural path the cue ball wants to take. And here, this, Mitch, would be the key shot here, is finding position for this 6 ball. If the 6 goes in the corner pocket past the 7, all she has to do is stop it right there. If not, she's going to have to draw it back for the side. Oh.
Flirts with the
Just
6.
enough. All right.
Good
She's
shot.
doing what she's got to do right now. And you know what? There's a lot to be said about the fact that it's easy to play good pool when you're playing well, when everything feels right and you just step up to the table. But if you can fight your way through a match like this when not feeling too good, Karen's shots are not as secure and sure as they normally are. Her position is not as perfect as it usually is, but she is fighting her way through this right now, and that's all you can do.
That's right. That's a good point. And you'll hear the crowd explode when this 9 goes in. They want a match. And Karen Corr with a break and run out in rack 6. Still down by 4, and Allison Fisher has the break to get on the hill. Inside the Paradise Hotel Casino, East Peoria, Illinois is the scene. Mitch Lawrence and Ava Lawrence, Allison Fisher and Karen Corr. Number 1 at stake. Allison Fisher has it. Karen Corr wants it. No question about it. But Allison has made a statement. The 5 opening racks are hers. Karen just got on the board with a break and run out in rack 6. And let's take a look, Ava, at this break, which I think has looked the best I have ever seen it by Allison Fisher.
Oh, it's incredible, the improvement there. She let it go a little bit. She just hit it off. But you see the power she hit that with.
That's just a stronger break than I've ever seen her hit.
Absolutely. She still managed to pocket 2 balls, and we discussed it, and I told her I was watching her this tournament, and I said, you're breaking the balls better than I've ever seen it. You must have really been working on it. And her reply was, she said, all it is I found my timing. She's not really hitting the balls any firmer. She just found the timing of when to let your body get into it as opposed to letting your body get ahead of it or behind the actual stroke. And she's not letting go of it now.
Isn't it amazing? She
It
came
is.
over and started playing in 1995, and she just found her timing.
It's somewhat discouraging for
I
people
was
that...
going to say, she's won how many titles? 45 on tour?
Yeah, it's going to be really easy to stop her now, huh?
And she goes, oh, I found my break.
Well, here she has an excellent opportunity here. Open shot at the 1. She's going to try to... Looks like she's going to have to go over and across and see if she can come out enough to get a shot at the 2 ball. Nope. She came either too far or not quite far enough. I think she was trying to get the cue ball to go a little bit farther and get in this area right here for the shot at the 2, and she'd have been home free. And now instead, as so often, you make a little bit of a positional error, she's forced to go into safeties again. I doubt she's going to be trying anything crazy on this shot right here. Cue ball right behind the blockers. But you know what? She made one big error right here. Karen may or may not, if Karen can make the shot, obviously that's not a good thing. But even if she can't, if she's forced to go for the jump cue here, making that 2 ball on the side is not impossible by any means.
Taking a good long look.
I'll try jumping it.
She's going to try jumping it. I think she needs to say extension.
I think, yeah, no, I think, and plus, clock
They
stops.
will give her a chance to go get her jump.
Exactly.
extension.
So
There
there
you
she
go.
takes her extension.
We'll see. She can jump it in the side. She can jump it in the corner. It's just that the corner is better for position. Jumping into the side is better because it's a bigger pocket coming in from that angle. So we'll see what she opts for. Goes for the corner. No. You know what,
Might
though?
get
It was
lucky
worth the
here.
whirl.
And just to give you an idea of this phenomenal rivalry between the two players, how would you like to have the kind of year Karen had last year? Winning the Canadian Classic Tour Stop, the BCA Open 9-ball championship, the US Open championship, and Allison is the player of the year, as she
That's
misses
pretty
that
amazing.
too. Just incredible. Shows you what it's about. Allison with 4 Classic Tour titles last year, and including the Nationals. Player of the year for the 7th time in her career.
I think that was the first offensive makeable shot that we saw
She missed.
Allison miss here. But as a result, no shot for Karen. I'm sure Karen is going to try to go one rail and try to get the cue ball. Oh, there you go. That's a good hit right there. Really controlled. Very well done. So many players, even at the top level, men or women, will go ahead and hit those kind of kick shots firm, hoping something positive, but you know, to happen. But the very, very cream of the crop will have a plan every single time, and it's amazing how often Karen plays a good safety like that, as does Allison.
back
Look at
at ya.
this. Look at these two play, will you? Well, back to kicking mode. I don't know if she's good. Well, she could jump this. She could jump over the 3 ball. Well, it won't gain her much, but it will. What it will do is guarantee her a hit, because I don't think Karen will have a problem get over the 3.
10.
She's already taken her extension.
Yeah.
So you see that quick play, and that was pretty much it from the get-go. And now ball in hand for Allison Fisher. And Ava, I don't see too many problems on this table.
There's not. I mean, this is open. The problem is right down here. The 6 ball is going to be the problem. As you can see, the 8 ball is blocking the path for the 6 to go in the corner pocket. We'll get to that in a second. Right now, she just needs to get down for the correct position for the 3. Again, you can see there how the 8 ball could potentially cause some problems there. Nothing major. Allison can get down into this area. She can shoot the 6 ball down here, possibly shoot it in here. She doesn't have to do anything major with the cue ball because the 8 is right there. She can also get on the other side of the table. A lot of options for position on the 6, just not any super easy ones. Look out, 9. Look out, 9 ball.
Think she's okay. That was close, though.
It was.
Fired that in.
We'll see. Again, this is the only other option she would have is to play position. Let's see. If she can, she'll go. No, I don't think she can go 2 rails around. The 9 ball is in the way. She just does not want to hit the 9 here.
And now she finds herself in the same position as Karen. Got to hit it
Here
quickly.
goes 2 rails, and she's going to be forced to shoot the combination. I'm sure not what she would have preferred. Not a big fan of combinations either, although, again, I've been discussing with her, and she's been working on the things that she has been having problems with, like the break, combination, some of the other things, and she has gotten much better at the combos.
And both of these players do that. They know where the weaknesses are, and they are
Absolutely.
unafraid to work on them. It's part of what has made them so fantastic. And look at that. Watch out now.
She forgot about the cue ball.
Yeah.
It's that slight detail of playing position for the 6. And again, the 9 ball is a big ball right in the middle of the table here. You can just cross 6 over here, send the cue ball
Okay.
down here.
Let's you and I banking it.
Maybe. I would be a little surprised. I don't see any reason why, but she might see it and feel good about it. Always a built-in safety. She plays the right speed. But you can see here, watch this. It's that 9-ball. Look at that.
Wow.
Well played. She just used that 9-ball. The angle she had, it wasn't easy enough. Yeah, easy enough bank shot. But that doesn't mean that someone doesn't go for it.
I just know that she's getting a little bit excited about shooting these banks now.
You're right. You're right.
The new offensive, aggressive Alison Fisher.
Karen's going to have to kick here. The 9-ball's too far away to take a chance on jumping it. Oh, she almost made it. Look out, cue ball. Look out. Oh, wow. That went from being a good safety to game over. And obviously this is going to be tough for Karen to overcome here. She needed a little bit of luck there.
I think she just said not meant to be. And some days you just have that feeling. Just that's what's going on. You accept it and you move on. Because for sure, it's about to be 6-1 Alison Fisher on the hill, and though Karen Corr will have the break, tough to overcome that against this player. Alison Fisher, 1 rack away from a three-peat here in Chicago, in actually East Peoria, but near enough to Chicago, so three-peat means something. Karen Corr with the break. Here's a look at 2 of the great products brought to us by Brunswick Billiards, both of them official products of the WPBA Classic Tour, the Big Break Rack and Centennial Ball. Some appreciative fans here in East Peoria, Illinois at the Paradise Hotel Casino. And there you see it. It's what I was talking about at the end of the last rack. Alison, once, twice, 3 times the champion, and she is 1 rack away from that feat. And let me tell you, when you face 64 of the great players in the world, time in and time out, and do what Alison Fisher has done 3 consecutive years at this event, but overall, you've got to stand up and applaud and pay attention.
And finally, Karen gets her break to work there. She got a good break shot. One might think it's a little bit late here, but it's obviously is something she needs to have some kind of opportunity here to stop Alison. 2 balls down there. 1 ball, as you can see, right by the pocket. She's going to go high to middle right spin. 3 rails around the table. 1, 2, 3 rails, and look at this position right here.
I'm sure Karen's saying, you know what, I may lose this, but I'm not going quietly. I'm not going to stop playing. She did say when she sat back down in her chair, you heard it before, not meant to be, after scratching in rack number 7. A tough scratch. Some days you feel like that, as I said, but neither one of these players will ever give up, will ever stop trying to play, and let the other one know they're there.
I think the main thing that turned around, and that was kind of what happened in this match, was when Karen snookered herself on that easy shot from the 6 to the 7. It just got a little careless, I believe, in game 4. And that just, you can't do that against somebody like Alison, especially not when Alison is playing like this and she is showing up hungry the way she has here. And that's what cost it. Yes, she has gotten a little bit of bad luck, and she's had some small rattles, but that was the big thing, the big miss. Let's see what Karen's going to do here to get position on this 5. She was trying to slam that in and go out, and I guess she's left herself the 5-9 combo. We'll see if she can pull this off. It's a little bit offline, but not much. It's almost a straight-in combination.
She would like nothing more than to just nail this. Beautiful.
Never give up.
Beautiful shot. Take another look. I know this is a hard time for Karen Corr in this particular tournament because you always want to win. These players play to win the title, period. But you have to derive some small satisfaction out of making some good, tough shots. Karen Corr down by 4. Alison Fisher with the break to win the match and the title. The Brunswick Billiards Midwest Classic is brought to you by the Paradise Hotel Casino, the perfect climate for winning. By Brunswick Billiards, since 1845, the standard of superior craftsmanship preferred by experts around the world. And by Simonis Cloth, since 1680, the cloth of champions. Fittingly, beautiful Gibson table by Brunswick Billiards for the finals of the Brunswick Billiards Midwest Classic presented by the American Pool Players Association. Alison Fisher at the table, up 6-2 over Karen Corr. If Alison gets this rack or gets the 7th first, even if it's not this rack, she maintains her #1 ranking and widens a gap of points over #2 Karen Corr. If Karen can somehow come back, and it's a tough order but not utterly impossible, then she would take the #1 ranking. Let's see where that 8 rolls. And there's a shot on the 1, Ava.
Here it is right here. It's hers for the taking. Tough, long shot on the 1 coming up first. 1 ball right here, corner pocket. 2 ball, luckily for Alison, is in the open, so all she really needs to do is cinch this 1 ball, and she is in great shape. Nothing major tied up. Just really being the shot maker that she is right here. She's elevating the cue slightly so she can down and hit center ball on this. Come around 2 rails. Oh! All right, but look at this. The rolls of a champion right there. What are you going to do about that? If you're Karen Corr, you just shake your head and regroup and say, okay, you know, how can I kick at it? Because
well, again, Alison, as the cue ball was rolling behind the 8, turned to Karen and said, sorry. I mean, that's just, there isn't anything you can do if you're Karen, certainly. If you're Alison, you just go, okay, missed it, and left her with that.
Exactly. The only thing I can say about that shot, which is interesting, is that a lot of players would slow roll that 1 ball in and just keep that position for the 2. Not elevate the cue, but just roll the 1 ball in. And had she done that and missed, Karen would have had, it would have been right by the pocket, Karen would have had an automatic shot at the 1. Now, by hitting it firm like that, you're at least giving yourself a chance that if you do miss, something good could happen. And look at this, look at this. Oh, she just got so
just
lucky
at the
there.
last second that
wow.
bounced off. And see there, you see Karen shaking her head, and when she said before, not meant to be, there's little things that happen just like that, like the last 2 shots.
It just peaked out, yeah. And Alison has been getting those rolls this match, and Karen hasn't.
Wow. All right, let's see if Alison can take care of business here.
Okay, there you have it. She gave herself the perfect angle to get out for the 3 ball. She can shoot the 3 right in the side. She can just roll the cue ball after making the 2, get in this area, shoot the 3 ball on the side, or she could draw the cue ball up here. Although she would be flirting a little bit more with the possibility of getting snookered by the 8. So it may not be a bad idea just to roll out and play the 3 ball on the side.
That's what she does.
Came up a little bit short there, Mitch. Wanted to
hair.
get a little bit farther. No, nothing major, I don't think, but the 7 being where it is. See the angle she has? If she makes the 3 ball here, the cue ball looks like it's heading right into the 7. That's the last thing she wants. She needs to come out a little bit for the 5. So it's nothing major to hold her back. She could just shoot a stop shot, but it's enough for Karen to peek from her chair to see if there's a possibility of getting back to the table again.
Always hoping, always peeking.
When you're in that chair too, sometimes it does feel like it's the electric chair because your opponent is up there and you're so hoping that somehow they're going to get out of line and the outside chance of you getting back to the table again. Okay, Allison decided to take the easy ride, just make sure she makes this 5 and take a little bit of a tougher cut on the 6 ball. You can see right there, the good thing about this is she has a good angle to get on the 7. The only thing she has to do is make sure she does not run into the 8 or into the side pocket. She may be better off, instead of trying to go direct, is to go all the way down to the other side of the table and back up again. If she's trying to spin it between the 8 and the 7, she could be flirting with danger here.
And there's the mark of a seasoned player also. Did not like the feeling of being down over that shot. Just stood up, took her extension, gathered herself, and here we go.
Oh, no, she was trying to hit that with reverse, so she came up, and a lot of times she missed that shot. She didn't want to take a chance of going between the 7 and the 8 because the side pocket was right there. She goes into the 8, she has nothing, she has a bank shot, but the last thing you want to do is miss the 6. We'll see now what Karen does. She's faced with a similar situation. I think she's just going to go straight up. And she went the other way, what I talked about, but look at this. Oh, Karen. I think that was just as much a fact of what the score is there, Mitch. If the score would have been 5-5, she would have taken a little bit more time and made sure she did nothing
seem like she went quickly at it.
Yeah, and when you were down 6-2, the other players on the hill, you're trying to hurry up and create something.
So now Allison has taken her extension. There's 3 balls left for the title. Let's see if she can take care of this. An interesting fact about Allison this year: the 2 tour titles she has in the Delta Classic in Tunica and San Diego Classic in Alpine, both times where she defeated Jeanette Lee in the finals, came back to win in both of those matches against Jeanette. Down 3 racks at one point, came back to win 7-5 in Tunica, and came back to get the last 2 racks against Jeanette. She will not have to do that this time against Karen Corr. Look at this shot on the 8, though.
Yeah, she left herself a really tough shot here. Look at the, oh, wow. She had ball in hand on the 7 and still almost didn't get a shot at the 8 and almost rattled that one. What a fighter she is.
The words we have heard so often. Allison Fisher, your champion. And you know that's a very, very happy Allison Fisher.
Thanks.
The whole talk of number 1, well, it's staying right here for a while.
Oh, now APA people. Now APA people.
Fantastic week for Karen Corr. And obviously we'll see her again very soon. But this event, undefeated, belongs to Allison.
That was so weird. What a match. I played awesome, and then I couldn't run 3 balls at the end.
And now it's time for our super shot of the match, brought to you by Brunswick Billiards, rack number 4. And Allison Fisher already up by 3 at this tough kick at the 7 ball at the other end of the table. Different players will do different things. This is what Allison Fisher did, and in effect said, okay, you really better come get me if you're Karen Corr. That rack put her up 4-0 on her way to a 7-2 victory in the finals.
Ladies and gentlemen, the runner-up in the 2004 Midwest Classic, if you will, Miss Karen Corr.
And the introduction of runner-up Karen Corr. I'm sure disappointed. Never really had a chance to get going. Allison Fisher took care of that early. Where she tried to come back, it wasn't meant to be, as she said this week.
And
congratulations to Karen on another fantastic event. Do not forget that she finished second, and 62 other players would give anything for that. But here she is, the Duchess of Doom. She loved it here in East Peoria. Her third consecutive victory at the Midwest Classic.
Thank you.
We want to thank everybody, especially Lauren Gill and Mark Freeman, presenting the trophy on behalf of the Paradise Hotel Casino. Thanks for being with us here in East Peoria. We've had a great time. We'll see you soon. For Ava Mataya-Lawrence, I'm Mitch Lawrence. So long from Illinois. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.